Hello, everyone. Today we're looking at Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and we're actually looking at the Wii version because that's the version I actually think is better and the one I actually liked more. So when this game came out, there were two different versions of the game. One was basically on Xbox 360 and PS3, and one was on the Wii. And I think there was probably some other versions of it on like DS or PSP or some God knows what. But I actually preferred this one better because it was actually more fun. What I really didn't like about the PS3 and Xbox version is, again, this game was teased, a while ago at, E3 or whatever, and it kind of showed like a Jedi user using force powers in all these crazy video game ways. Like you're able to like stop TIE fighters in their path and take down an entire Star Destroyer. That was the big sell of the game, that you take down the entire Star Destroyer, and you do that in the game, but it's just like kind of lame. And like it's just a quick time action sequence that's all scripted and not just in engine, so it kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of lame and defeats the purpose. And what I also didn't like about the PS3 and Xbox versions is it focuses you on just electrocuting everything and using your force and overusing it, and it just feels a little bit janky. And the Wii version for some reason just feels a little bit more responsive and just better coded or something. It just feels better and more balanced in general. And you basically go against the rebels. The whole thing is that this is before the Empire. So you play as Star Killer, which was the original code name for Luke Skywalker. It's supposed to be Luke Star Killer. And so in this game, you basically play as just the enigmatic apprentice to Darth Vader, where you play for half the game under the Empire's rule and the other half of the game trying to save the Jedi instead of kill them. And so you basically choose the light side or the dark side and all that, corny stuff. But you get a lot of really cool force powers like, Jedi Lightning, force choke, force push, all that kind of good stuff. And the one thing that made the apprentice different is he used a reverse grip on his blade. It was like, oh wow, that's so new. And so he was like the ultimate edge master for a while. He was supposed to appeal to teenage boy gamers and be like, oh, this is the coolest, sickest guy. He doesn't listen to his parents or go to bed on time. He's so cool. And yeah, I just found the Wii controls and the game itself to be just darker in tone and aesthetically, and I just found the waggling to be kind of dealable and kind of not so bad, and just a better all-rounded experience. The one thing that is very aggravating about the Wii version, though, is that you cannot level select. You literally have to start the game all over from the beginning and go through it linearly, which is honestly really frustrating. I also liked the amount of customization you can do in this game to your lightsaber and also to the apprentice's overall look. There is a bunch of costumes to choose from, and they're all very cool. And yeah, similar to the other games, you take on, Star Destroyers and other kinds of things. And the Star Destroyer in the Wii version is just a cutscene, so they didn't pretend to think that it's not a cutscene, or pretend to think that it's something part of like the game, the gameplay. Another really cringe thing about the Wii version that I do have to mention, which is absolutely really funny / weird, is that there's this one section where, or rather you have this one option for multiplayer, and so there's a 2-player version in this game where you can fight against a friend, and it is severely broken. It is just comically not good and just very bad in general. But yeah, pretty similar to the other game. It has a bunch of QuickTime action sequences, a bunch of badass moments. It definitely has a darker color palette. Simply it was not on lesser hardware, and that's the one thing that really bothered me, honestly, about the 360 version. There's just so much bloom and colors, and just did not fit the tone of the game at all. And then eventually this game did get a sequel, The Force Unleashed 2, where it turns out that this apprentice had a bunch of clones or something, and that he was a clone and something else, and there was a love interest that he couldn't be with. And honestly, I do not care at all about the continuational story of this game. It was just very like whatever. And so yeah, a lot of the time you spend taking off, finding, going to different planets like Fallujah, finding remnants of the Jedi, and then having battles with them and taking them out. And so, yeah, in the 360 version or whatever, or in the sequel rather, it turns out, oh, okay, you have to, make you're somehow not dead, or you're a different clone from the first clone, because either what you choose, I'm pretty sure in the first game you die either way. And apparently in this game, they also, he gives like the symbol of the rebellion to the people, which goes against what Rogue One did or whatever. Not that I think anyone really cares, the continuity of this game versus like another Disney movie, but whatever. And at the end of this game, you basically have to choose between fighting Darth Vader or Emperor Palpatine, whether you're going to be loyal to Vader or loyal to Palpatine. And I'm pretty sure in both endings you actually do perish. But yeah, it's really cool customizing your lightsaber, customizing your design. It feels really nifty and unique. But yeah, I really don't like the Apprentice as a character. He's a mostly quiet, silent villain who basically goes into, rage mode here and again. And it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't really care about this guy. Yeah, it's a fine game, I guess. Another okay Star Wars game. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. See you later, guys.